Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. This is Abigail Molina with Molina Law Group, here with some important news, breaking news on DACA today. Hola, buenas tardes todos. Soy la abogada Abigail Molina. Estoy aquí representando a Molina Law Group para platicar sobre noticias de último minuto de DACA. So I was hoping to come on here today to talk about administrative closure for court cases and all the great news that we received this week regarding administrative closure. And instead, I have to talk about bad news. And so I apologize in advance for that, but it is important to get this information out. So I wanted to come on. I hate having to give bad news, especially when it relates to DACA, because DACA has been so up and down in the last couple of years. But again, it is important to understand what is going on with DACA right now, and what people need to do if they have DACA or they're in the process of applying for DACA. Entonces vamos a estar platicando hoy sobre DACA. Yo quería hacer un video hoy platicando sobre las buenas noticias que recibimos esta semana sobre cerrando casos en la Corte de Inmigración. Siempre me gusta dar buenas noticias y quería platicar de eso, pero desafortunadamente hoy tengo que dar malas noticias sobre el programa de DACA. Pero sí es importante entender lo que está pasando, entonces vamos a platicar de eso hoy. So a year or so ago, when DACA was so up and down, I had a banner that I put up. I'm looking for it now. That said, DACA, sí or no. And unfortunately, we're back to this, okay? So yes, we have Biden. Yes, he's on our side. Yes, Congress is talking about a pathway to citizenship for Dreamers and expanding the DACA program. But we still have enemies in our midst. We still have those in government who want to see DACA end. And unfortunately, one of those is a federal judge in Texas, in Brownsville, Texas, who has been presiding over a case for a long time as the same judge who killed the DAPA program that was supposed to be for parents of U.S. citizens. It was supposed to be an extension of the DACA program. He killed that program, and he has obviously been intent on killing DACA as well. So he issued an order today. The case has been ongoing for quite a while, and there hasn't been any news on it in a while, so I was actually surprised to see this news come out. He issued a 77-page order today, which of course I have not had time to digest and read yet, stating essentially that he's ordering that USCIS stop approving any new DACA applications, any new initial DACA applications, and that any applications that have been filed that haven't been decided yet, that those be put on hold. So what does that mean? Well, of course, that ruling will be appealed, will be taken to the Fifth Circuit to appeal it, and will probably end up before the Supreme Court. Again, another DACA case before the Supreme Court. And what does that mean for people who have DACA now? Well, just a brief review of that order. Looks like it does not order USCIS to stop renewing any DACA applications or to start revoking any DACA applications. So at least that's some good news. But what it will mean for people who have a DACA application pending right now, USCIS will not be able to approve those. They will just have to sit there. So many people have been waiting on their DACA applications. Many people who filed right away in December after DACA reopened. Some people still have not received decisions on their cases, probably because there's been so many people who have applied. So there are many, many people that this will affect. And what does this mean? Well, this means that the DACA fight is not over. This means that Congress needs to get its act together and act now. There is legislation that is passed through the House. It's sitting at the Senate. The Senate's been mulling it over and talking about it. They have legislation that they could easily pass There's question whether or not they can, they have enough votes or not, but it is there. The House already prepared it, presented it, voted on it, approved it. It needs just to be voted on by the Senate and then signed by Biden. And then that would stop all of this madness, because once it is law by Congress, a federal judge can't just sign an order and end the DACA program. Estamos platicando hoy sobre DACA porque había una decisión hoy sobre DACA en el estado de Texas. Hay un juez juez federal que ha estado en proceso sobre un caso de DACA para terminar el programa de DACA, acabar con el programa. Es el mismo juez que terminó el programa de DAPA, que iba a empezar un poco después de DACA. Que ese programa iba a ser para padres de ciudadanos, iba a ser muy similar a DACA. Entonces parece que este juez federal quiere también acabar con el programa de DACA, y hoy firmó un orden ordenando al Servicio de Inmigración que deje de aprobar nuevos casos de DACA. No dice que no se puede seguir renovando los casos ya aprobados, pero quiere decir que los casos que no han estado aprobados todavía no se pueden aprobar hasta que haya otra decisión. Entonces, este caso ya va a ir a una apelación con el quinto circuito. Más probable se va a necesitar llevar frente la Corte Suprema. Entonces va a ser el segundo caso en la Corte Suprema sobre DACA. Y qué lástima, porque el Congreso puede tomar acción para evitar estos problemas. Los Dreamers han sufrido tanto en estos años, desde que empezó Trump como presidente. Han tenido que preocuparse si iba a terminar el programa de DACA, y ahora que ya acaba de empezar de nuevo en diciembre, ha habido muchas personas que han solicitado su DACA que si no se ha aprobado van a tener que seguir esperando hasta que haya más decisiones en las cortes sobre el programa de DACA. Entonces, el Congreso tiene poder, tiene autoridad de tomar acción. La Casa de Representantes ya pasó la legislación para que los Dreamers se tienen un paseo a la ciudadanía. Entonces, está con el Senado ahora. Entonces, solamente tienen que aprobar la legislación y luego el presidente lo firma, y podemos evitar tantos problemas, y porque una ley no se puede ser cancelado con una firma de un juez federal. Todo eso es locura, completamente locura. So we're talking today about DACA and this horrible news that came out today on a Friday. The judge in Brownsville, Texas, has signed an order that no new DACA applications can be approved. This case will be appealed at the Fifth Circuit, and it will probably end up before the Supreme Court sooner or later. But meanwhile, all these Dreamers are put back into a status of not knowing whether they will be able to get their work authorization. Many people who are in the process of being deported won't have this option as a way to avoid deportation. Just craziness. There's no reason for there to be this kind of back and forth with DACA, and that's why Congress needs to take action. The legislation that's already been passed by the House, sitting in front of the Senate, it's been there for months. There's not been much movement on it. They need to take this as a kick in the pants to get moving on that. So I wanted to bring this news. I'm sorry it's not great news, but I did want to get it out there because there are going to be many people that this will impact. If your case is pending, if you have filed your DACA and have not received a decision on it, it will be waiting, and it will wait and wait and wait. Unfortunately, probably a long time until a higher court cancels this court order. All right. Anyone have any questions? I can see that there's people watching. If you have any questions or any comments, feel free to put those on there. I will answer them. I'm going to end with the good news. So the good news is regarding administrative closure. Let me just put up a banner because I like my banners. Administrative closure. How do you spell that? There we go. So another casualty of the Trump administration was a procedure in immigration court where you could temporarily close an immigration case in order to do other applications that can't be processed by the court. So for example, a VAWA application or a waiver, I-601A. In the case of the I-601A, you have to either close your case administratively or terminate it with the court. You can't have an open case with the court, the immigration court, if you're going to file your I-601A waiver. And so the Trump administration took away the ability of a judge, the judge's authority to administratively close a case, which was ridiculous. There was no reason for it. It's a way to keep the dockets free, so to not overburden the court. So instead, they're just cases just continuing to pile up. There was really no good reason for it. We're glad to see this week that the Attorney General overruled the case that ended ended administrative closure. It was called Castro Tum. That was the name of the person. The case that the Trump administration used to end administrative closure. So we're happy to report that administrative closure is back on, available as a form of relief. So if you have a case in immigration court, or you know someone who has a case in immigration court, this will be a very helpful tool, a way to process their case that was not available prior to this week. Well, it was in a couple of circuits, a couple of states around the U.S., but not here in Oregon in the Ninth Circuit. So we're happy to see this change come out this week. That's good news. Administrative closure. Quería terminar este video con buenas noticias. Lo que escuchamos esta semana sobre el poder de los jueces de cerrar casos en las cortes de inmigración. Durante el presidente Trump, terminaron o se acabaron, quitaron más que nada, se puede decir, quitaron la autoridad de los jueces de inmigración de poder cerrar los casos con la corte. Y porque a veces hay remedios que solamente se puede pedir de inmigración, que la corte no tiene poder aprobar. Por ejemplo, un perdón provisional a fuerzas se tiene que cerrar su corte antes de pedir su perdón. Entonces, quitaron el poder de los jueces para cerrar los casos, imagino, para castigar y perjudicar los inmigrantes, tanto como los otros policías que tenían bajo el presidente Trump, porque no tenían razones buenas para hacerlo. O sea, solamente ayudaba en engrandecer las líneas en las cortes. Entonces, estamos muy contentos que ahora se puede ya de nuevo cerrar ciertos casos en ciertas situaciones. Entonces, si tiene un caso en la Corte de Inmigración, si no tiene abogado o si no está de acuerdo con lo que está haciendo su abogado, llámanos al 541-653-8899 o visítenos en Facebook, Molina Law Group, o molinalawgroup.net. Y nos encantaría platicar con usted sobre sus opciones para cerrar su caso con la Corte de Inmigración. So again, sorry to be coming on here Friday afternoon with bad news. I still have PTSD from the Trump administration, who always gave bad news on a Friday. So it almost feels like Judge Hainan is kind of having a throwback to that, giving us all bad news on a Friday. Just a reminder that even though we have now Biden, who is immigrant friendly, we still have those in our government who want to do harm to immigrants. And this is always a shock to me that this is the program that those enemies choose to attack. DACA, it's just the wrong program to attack. It doesn't make any sense to me. So I apologize again bringing this bad news. Lo siento mucho a todos los dreamers que tengo que traer esta mala noticia hoy, el viernes. Siempre bajo Trump, siempre las noticias malas llegaron los viernes tocante los casos de inmigración. Entonces se siente un poco igual. Tal vez el juez Hanen quería hacerlo hoy para hacerlo igual como su amigo Trump. No sé, pero quería dar esta información. Vamos a estar al tanto de qué quiere decir, que se va a cambiar para los casos de DACA y vamos a estar anunciando en tanto tenemos información. We will be following this very closely. It will weave its way through the courts, just like the other DACA case did, up to the Supreme Court. We will be bringing more information. Just to repeat, it doesn't seem like it affects anyone who already has DACA. This is just an order stopping the new applications that were allowed to start in December of 2020. So please reach out to us if you have any questions or concerns. 541-653-8899. You can visit us on Facebook or on our website, molinalawgroup.net. So thanks all for being with us. Hope you have a great weekend. Hope to bring better news in the weeks to come. And as always, please take care. Gracias por estar con nosotros. Vamos a estar con ustedes en las semanas que entra. Esperamos con mejores noticias y esperamos que se pase buen fin de semana y que se compartan este video, por favor, para que todos sepan lo que está pasando con el programa de DACA. Please don't forget to share this video so that more people can hear what is going on with DACA. And we'll be back with you very soon. Gracias y hasta luego. Que se cuiden bien.